What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Classic Chronicles. I hope you guys enjoyed Monday's vlog where I reviewed NXT Deadline. If you haven't checked that out, please do. But for today, we are going to talk some more wrestling, and we're going to talk about Ring of Honor Final Battle, man. Ring of Honor, was on from 2002 to 2000, 2019, and then there was some uncertainty as to the future of the promotion when it went bankrupt. And then the pandemic happened, so there was some uncertainty of where the promotion was going to go. But luckily, AEW owner Tony Khan stepped in and purchased the company, and now it is going into a whole new era. And they had Final Battle last year, and then they had Super Card of Honor back in April, and there was still some uncertainty of the future at that point, but now the future seems clear, and it seems that the promotion will be revamped under their flagship streaming service Honor Club. And yeah, so this was Final Battle. So this is the final event of Ring of Honor for the year, and hopefully next year we get Ring of Honor television, and then more Ring of Honor pay-per-views, and some crossovers with New Japan and some other promotions. So I'm looking forward to see what the future of Ring of Honor holds, man, because I'm such a huge fan of Ring of Honor. Uh, they have great wrestling, and just can't wait to see what the future holds. But anyway, let's get into Final Battle, man. The 0 Hour, which is their name for their pre-shows, that featured 4 matches. So kicking off the show, you had Jeff Cobb of United Empire in New Japan Pro Wrestling, taking on Mascara Dorada, which literally translates to Golden Mask in English. And if you watch WWE, you may remember the man occupying that persona as Grand Metalik. He made his Ring of Honor debut last night at. This past weekend at Final Battle. It wasn't last night. It was Saturday night. As I'm recording this. So yeah, he ended up in it. It was still a great effort by Mascara Dorada, but Jeff Cobb ended up picking up the win with his finisher. Aloha means goodbye, formerly known as Tour of the Islands, which is a spinning power slam that he uses. Jeff Cobb, big, strong, rugged individual out of Hawaii, man. Uh, Hell of a competitor. He does things that a big man should not be able to do. But yeah, man, it's a great opener. The crowd was real hot for it. Then next up, you had Willow Nightingale taking on Trisha Dora. Now, Trisha Dora, former Grand Pan Am African champion. That is she was their first ever champion of a promotion in Africa, the Pan Am promotion. And she's a hell of a competitor in her own right. She was also in Ring of Honor for a time too before she did that. So nice to see her back. Hopefully she is signed to this new iteration of Ring of Honor, because like I said, she's a hell of a competitor. I would love to see more of her. And of course, Willow Nightingale. Don't let the bubbly persona fool you. She can definitely get down in the ring, man. And these two ladies put on a good show, man. So Willow Nightingale ended up picking up the win after a sit out power bomb. And next up, you had Cool Hand Angelo Parker and Daddy Magic Matt Menard of the Jericho Appreciation Society, the faction led by Chris Jericho. And then you had them taking on Yeah, them taking on the Shinobi Shadow Squad, Ring of Honor regulars in the old Ring of Honor, which consisted of Cheeseburger and Eli Isom. So and Cheeseburger, the Prince of the Shinobi, the Prince of the Shinobi Shadow Squad, and the uh, Master of the Shotei Palm Strike, gifted to him by his mentor Jushin Thunder Liger. Uh, man, oh, sorry, world famous Cheeseburger, because everybody loves Cheeseburger. He's the man. So yeah, and there's a funny nickname behind his behind the man known as Cheeseburger. So basically, he was training for wrestling, and he was told he was too small, and I guess one of his trainers said, maybe eat a cheeseburger and you'll bulk up a little bit, and that kind of stuck with him. So that's the reason for the name Cheeseburger. So yeah, anyway, Daddy Magic, Matt Menard, and Cool Hand Angela Parker ended up defeating the Shinobi Shadow Squad. Hopefully they're back on this new iteration of Ring of Honor too. Uh, Real cool, entertaining team. Both teams are. Uh, and then in your main event for 0 Hour, you had Top Flight, Darius and Dante Martin out of Minnesota, uh, taking on the Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, with Maria Kanellis Bennett at their side. This was a hell of a tag team matchup. What do you call it? And Top Flight ended up picking up the win, man. So good for them, man. Top Flight has had a real rough year in terms of wrestling because Darius Martin has been injured a lot. Had a devastating knee injury, came back from that, was wrestled for about 6 weeks, and then had a horrific car accident, which almost cost him not only his professional wrestling career but his life. So yeah, hopefully Top Flight gets to stay healthy and we get to see a lot more of them because these two young kids got a hell of a future in the business, man. Huge fans of Top Flight. So yeah, man, not a bad pre-show. But let's get down to the main course, the main appetizer, the final battle itself. So kicking off the show, you had a longtime veteran AR Fox teaming up with another veteran of the Indies, Blake Christian, All Heart Blake Christian, and they took on the team of Roosh, former two-time Ring of Honor World Champion, and Duralistico out of Mexico. And Roosh and Duralistico were accompanied by Preston Vance, formerly of the Dark Order, but turned his back on the Dark Order a couple of weeks ago on AEW Rampage, and has now aligned himself with La Faction Ingobernable. Uh, so yeah, the Realistico and Rouge ended up picking up the win, and but it wasn't without a fight, man. AR Fox and Blake Christian put up a hell of a fight. Uh, so glad to see AR Fox signed to a major company. He has been busting his ass on the indies for about 15 to 20 years now, and it's so good to see him get his shine, way overdue and well deserved. And Blake Christian too, man, another great competitor. So next up, you had the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship online. Mercedes Martinez, the defending champion, took on Athena, formerly known as Amber Moon in WWE, but she's well past that persona now. It's nice to see the vicious side of Athena come out, and it is working for her definitely. And she worked for her in this occasion too, because she is now the new Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. So Mercedes Martinez and Athena had a lot of history in the Shimmer promotion, which is an all women's promotion in Japan. They had a lot of history there, and they had a lot of history within the early days of Ring of Honor. They wrestled in the mid 2000s in Ring of Honor, there was no women's championship and really no women's division, but those two tore it up, and it was great to see them get back in the ring and tear it up again, man. Athena is going to be a great champion, and I can't wait to see what comes for her and Mercedes Martinez as well, because I'm a big fan of hers as well. You know, the OG badass Mercedes Martinez, I should say. So yeah, and then next up, man, another great match, another great tag team matchup, man. Uh, Shane Taylor Promotions, Shane Taylor and JD Griffey taking on Swerve in Our Glory, Keith Lee and Shane Strickland. So there's a lot of history here. Not particularly between Shane Strickland and Shane Taylor, but Keith Lee and Shane Taylor. If you're a old school fan of Ring of Honor, mid 2010s, you know that Keith Lee was once aligned with Shane Taylor. They were supposed to go for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships, but Keith Lee decided to go to WWE and kind of left Shane Taylor high and dry. So there's a lot of history between those two there, and JD Griffey, man, great MMA artist. Made the transition to professional wrestling and made his Ring of Honor debut as well. It was a great back and forth matchup. The story was told very well between Shane Taylor and Keith Lee, and when they finally locked up, man, the crowd just went nuts. And as you know, if on AEW, on the AEW side of things, Swerve in Our Glory is not doing too hot. I believe they are going to disband as a tag team at this point. It is time for them to kind of feud with each other and do a program together. Keith Lee and Shane Strickland, if they're gonna go that route, as they should, because they've been teasing the cracks in the foundation, and then on AEW programming, they lost the World Tag Team Championships at Grand Slam in New York City back in September. I was there. So yeah, and it's been the bad blood between these two has been festering ever since, and at Final Battle, it was no exception. You know, Shane Strickland ended up walking out on Keith Lee, and usually when your partner walks out on you, it doesn't fare well for you. And it turned into a handicap match, but somehow Keith Lee was able to pick up the win for his team anyway, even though his tag team partner was not there to help him. But yeah, so huge shout out to Keith Lee, and I can't wait to see where that feud with Shane Strickland goes. Uh, Next up, you have the Ring of Honor World Six Man Tag Team Championships. The original trios titles. AEW has their own set of six man tag team champion 6-man championships, but Ring of Honor is I believe the first promotion to do that. I could be wrong. I think maybe CMLL in Mexico had a similar style of championship. But let me know down in the comments if you guys know for sure. But anyway, so you had Dalton Castle and the boys taking on the embassy, which was consist of Brian Cage, the Machine Brian Cage, and the Gates of Agony, Khan and Loa, I believe. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, no, those three big behemoths managed to get the better of Dalton Castle and the boys, and they are now the new Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Champions. Then after that, you had the Ring of Honor Pure Championship on the line. a belt with a lot of history. Such past champions of that title have included CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, uh, Austin Aries, AJ Styles, just who's who of wrestlers have held that title, and that title is basically for the wrestling purists, as they're known. You know, the guys who view wrestling as an art form, which it is. So basically, the rules of a pure championship match is you get three rope breaks. After the third rule break, there are no rule breaks no matter what. So then you get I think one closed fist to one closed fist. If you use another, that's the first closed fist that you use. That's a warning, and the next one is an automatic disqualification. And there is a 20 count on the outside. And there are three judges, man. And in the event that the time limit, in the event that it reaches a time limit draw, the decision comes down to the judges. You know, three judges that are sitting at ringside. In this case, it was Christopher Daniels, Jerry Lynn, and B.J. Whitmer, all Ring of Honor legends. So yeah, man, and then you had Wheeler Yuta taking on Danny Garcia of the Jericho Appreciation Society. So and these two have had a hell of a rivalry, and Danny Garcia took the Ring of Honor Pure Championship from Wheeler Yuta back at Supercard of Honor in April. So this is kind of the rubber match. They had another match where it went to a draw. So this is 1-1-1. This is the tiebreaker, I should say. And then Wheeler Yuta ended up getting the win by referee stoppage because he knocked Danny Garcia out with anvil elbow. So basically, that's elbows straight to the chest, and then if you know you can knock a person out with those, man. It's just basically driving the base of a person's elbow straight to the upper chest and neck area, man. It knocks you out real quick. So it's just devastating, man. So yeah, Wheeler Yuta ended up regaining the Pure Championship, and it is now the only two-time Ring of Honor Pure Champion in the history of that championship. So major props to Wheeler Yuta. Okay, and then next up you had oh man, next up was the match of the night, and it should have main evented in my opinion, man. Oh my god, the Briscoes versus FTR, another banger, man. Holy crap! If you have not seen the Briscoes taking on FTR, man, I highly suggest you find those matches, man, because they are whew, I can't even begin to describe how great they are, man. Uh, I believe their first matchup together was at Super Card of Honor. That was a banger. The FTR ended up defeating the Briscoes for the tag team championships. Then they had another matchup at Death Before Dishonor, which was 2 months later in July. That was a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. And FTR ended up defeating them there. And then this was the rubber match. So this match at Final Battle was a double dog collar match. And if you've seen a dog collar match before, basically it's two competitors. Well, in this case, four because it's a tag team match. But two competitors. You know, they got a dog collar. They got a chain that is similar to a dog collar strapped to their necks, and basically that chain can be used as a weapon, and that match is very very dangerous because you're essentially chained to each other. You know, you can't make one person cannot make a move without the other right on their tail. So there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And then when you have tag teams, that makes it even more dangerous, man. And boy, these men bled buckets. It was just an all-out war, and I couldn't have asked for anything more. But Briscoes, man, uh, the Briscoes, man, 12-time uh, Ring of Honor, 13-time Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, and they're going to take Ring of Honor into a new era, man. And FTR, much respect to those guys. They still hold the IWGP and the AAA Tag Team Championships. So you can imagine that holding three sets of championships, what kind of pressure that brings for you to deliver every single night. And those gentlemen do. FTR, one of my favorite tag teams. I'm an old school tag team kind of guy, so that for me is just it's just pure nostalgia, man. Yeah, so great. If you had, like I said, if you haven't seen any of those matches, go out of your way and try to find them because they're well worth the watch. And you will agree with me that is hell, not even match of the year. I said at the beginning before I started breaking down this match that it was a match of the year. No, not match of the year, match of the freaking decade, man. And that's saying something because there have been a lot of great matches in this decade, but this tops them all, even their first two, and that's very hard to do. Oh man, but these gentlemen have done it. And then after that, man, after that you had Juice Robinson taking on Samoa Joe for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. Joe ended up getting the win after a muscle buster. Uh, and yeah, no, Juice Robinson is a hell of a competitor. He spent a lot of his time recently in New Japan, the last 7 years, and then recently became a member of the Bullet Club faction over there. And now he's looking to do his thing in the United States. Former IWGP United States champion. And among other things, man, but Juice Robinson and Samoa Joe, uh, undeniably the king of television because he not only holds the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, he holds the TNT Championship as well in AEW. So, which is the equivalent of their television championship. So definitely, Samoa Joe is the king of television, as he likes to be called. And I found it kind of funny during the press conference that he said that he would only answer questions if you refer to him as Highness, Your Majesty, or the King. That is hilarious. Samoa Joe, man, hell of a heel. Love Samoa Joe, huge fan. Uh, and then in your main event, you had your main event was for the Ring of Honor World Championship. The Ocho Chris Jericho, the 8-time world champion. He held 8 championships in his career, and he took on Claudio Castagnoli, man. Of the Blackpool Combat Club, formerly Cesaro in WWE. But yeah, man. Those two had a hell of a match, and it was a rather unique finish, man. The match ended when Chris Jericho tapped out to the giant swing, and Claudio Castagnoli is now your 2-time Ring of Honor World Champion. Uh, so I can't wait to see what he does on this run. His first run ended rather abruptly, but I do see why that they ended it because no disrespect to Claudio, but Chris Jericho is a bigger star, and they were trying to, and then Tony Khan was trying to secure a TV deal with Ring of Honor. And by putting the belt on Chris Jericho, you get a lot more eyes on that title. And having it defended on AEW television as it was, that a lot more eyes get on the title. So why they did that. But now that they have that TV deal, like I meant, that deal that Ring of Honor has a new home now, and now you can put the title back on Claudio and have him the lead Ring of Honor into this new era, as I mentioned in the beginning. But yeah, overall, Ring of Honor Final Battle was a solid show, as it always is. And man, if you haven't checked it out, catch the replay on pay per view or Fight TV or however you can catch that replay, man. Just go out of your way and find it and watch it, man, because you will not be disappointed if you are a fan of professional wrestling. Yeah, so that is gonna do it for this episode of the Classic Chronicles. Like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you don't miss video. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.